If you want to just skip this video and go straight to the template because you understand the concept, go ahead and click on that link below. You'll get direct access to my template for you on how to be able to create your ads and design your ads. How do you formulate your advertisements? Whether it's going to be a physical product or whether you're going to be making a post for an ad online. Number one, you want to make sure that you have a bold title. Of course, bold is easier to see, so that's why you put it bold. Best way to think about it is if you are looking at your emails, and when you pull up your email, first thing you look for is the title. Whatever the big bold lettering is saying kind of pretty much gives you the gist of what it's about, and then you decide delete or keep. Now, if you're not good at going through your emails, you do the same thing with your mail. Whenever you go to the mailbox, you pull up everything, and in order to decide between what is junk mail and what's not, you're going to take a brief look at the biggest lettering on whatever it is. You're going to look at the name. You're going to try to figure out very quickly, is it trash or do I keep it? Is it important, like a bill or something, or is it something I can chuck out, right? Concept number one, whenever crafting some sort of marketing, you want to make sure it's bold. And then number two, you want to make sure that it's a benefit. Now, people call it a hook, right? If you're putting together social media and you're going to ask a question, that could be a hook. Something that would engage that client or that customer immediately, that's a hook. Now, when it comes to marketing, it really is just a benefit. What is something that would benefit that customer instantly? Something that solves a massive problem for them, and just post that right up at the very top of the title. That solves a lot of problems right there. Now they're interested. Now they're hooked. Number two, you want to go and list questions, right? You're going to ask questions. You're going to, put things out there that ask a lot of questions that really build the desire for them to want to continue. And that desire build is what we call building value, right? Now, they feel like that value is there. Now, we add in the takeaways, right? You add in the cons, right? You got the pros, those things that are pro, whatever your subject is. Now you're going to add in the cons. I don't want to overpromise anything. Let me make sure that you meet the basic qualifications first, right? This is what's called the takeaway, which actually raises the anticipation and the desire of that client or that customer. Let me give you an example. I have a baby and the baby's got keys and the baby loves the keys, slobbering all over the keys. And then all of a sudden you decide, hey, I got to go to the store real quick. I got to take off, or I got to go to work. You go to grab the keys from the baby. What's the baby going to do? We already know, we've all had babies, baby cries. Now, when the baby cries, they're not crying because they think you're mean. They're crying because they desired that thing that was in their hand. You took it away, and they well up with this feeling inside that they desire that thing that they just lost. They want it even more. That feeling has to be satisfied one of two ways. One, you distract them. You grab something else, you put it in their hands, and they're happy. Two, you have to basically coddle them and help them and work them through that emotion for the next hour or two. Marketing is exactly the same way. When you basically say, here's your thing of value, you're going to love it. Then you say, ooh, but wait a second. Let me make sure this is actually for you. I don't want to waste your time. This is what's called a pullback or a takeaway. And after that builds that emotion of them wanting to qualify, this is when it makes it easier to then now offer whatever the item is that you give. So now that you understand the concept of how it all works, the very last part is you got to call them into action. So I'm going to call you to action right now. Go ahead and click on the link below, and then you're going to get my free template so that you guys can now practice and do this on your own with a template of your own so that you can work it out and try to understand the concepts of exactly what marketing basics is all about.